Folks, welcome to the Murray Homestead, and today we're going to show you how we do our turkey here. It's super easy, and I promise you it'll be some of the best turkey you've ever had. All right, so we are doing a turkey early. This is at the end of October. We are hosting Thanksgiving today, or this year at our home again. And when you're feeding a lot of people, you kind of want to make sure you're doing it right. So this is like a test run turkey. Although we've done this about, I don't know, I'd say with about 5 turkeys, and it always turns out awesome. But we haven't done it for a few months, and turkey's really cheap. This is a little bit less than 13 pounds, and it was only 88 cents a pound, and it wasn't on sale. That's just the price. So it's a really delicious meal, and I'll show you y'all how easy it is. I think people really kind of freak out about turkey, and there's a lot of tradition and heirloom recipes and stuff. Okay, if your grandma has one that's better, then use that one. This is easy, and we're using, ironically, the Char-Broil Big Easy. We're going to take you outside, and I'll show you all how to use that. But it really is a set it and forget it type recipe, and it's some of the best chicken we've ever had, and our family members agree. So all you'll need to do this is a little bit of olive oil. We're going to rub that on the skin before we put the seasoning on the skin. And then we have, I pre-made some liquid that I'm going to inject into the turkey to make it extra juicy. And all that is granulated garlic. There's a little bit of Tony's, some butter, and 1 cup of chicken broth. So super easy. It's actually all natural. If you care about that, there's not even MSG in this stuff. So it's healthy, it's cheap, and it's easy. So first things first, we got to inject this bird. I'm using this thing I got off of Amazon. It's just a marinade injector. I'll link it down below. It works well, and it comes with spare gaskets and stuff. But I would consider that more or less a necessity. It comes with a few different needles. We're using the one that has holes all in it, because as you inject, instead of just coming out of the end, it'll, kind of distribute itself throughout the bird. So I used a whole stick of butter, 1 tablespoon of the garlic, 1 tablespoon of the Tony's, and 1 cup of the chicken broth. And all you gotta do is let the butter melt. Don't let it boil. Just get it nice and warm. And I've already taken the bird, and all I did was rinse it out and take the neck and the giblets and everything out. And so we want to inject the entire bird. So I'll start here with a leg, get that needle all the way in there, and nice and slowly. You don't want to do it too fast because it'll just squirt out all over the place. And you can kind of massage the meat just a little bit as you're doing it, but inject a pretty healthy amount in there. We'll get the other leg. And you'll just inject the whole bird. I recommend doing every single part that you can. And especially, the breast is notorious for getting dry. So for sure, put a pretty good amount in the breast. And get that all in there. And take the needle off. And refill. Get that breast again. We probably stop or like fast forward or something. Oops. Story of my life, right, babe? Okay. Alrighty, so we got the turkey all injected. And be careful if when you're using the needle with them holes, it needs to be fully inserted before you start hitting the syringe. I was pulling out and just squirted butter all over the place in an accident. So, oops. Now we're going to take the Tonys and just rub it all over the turkey. To help it stick a little bit better, we'll put just a little bit of olive oil on there. And this will help the skin crisp up pretty nice too. But that all on there, and then you can be pretty liberal with the Tonys, but don't go crazy with it because you absolutely can oversalt with this stuff. But you do want a pretty healthy amount on there. You want to rub it around all over. All right, I'll flip this guy or girl over. Just a little bit more oil on there. All right, and for the Tonys. You want to get on every square inch of the outside of the bird if possible. The oil and the Tonys. All right. Now, I don't want to overdo it with the Tonys. Excuse me. So that's literally all you got to do to prepare this bird. Today we'll be using the Big Easy. It's an infrared propane powered fryer, basically. I'll take you outside and show it to you. But it gets cooked in this little corrugated cylinder here. So we're going to put the bird legs down in this contraption, and then we'll take it outside and show you how we're going to cook it. Love you. Okay. All right, folks. This is the Char-Broil Big Easy. I'll leave a link where I got it from off Amazon, of course. Hi, buddy. This thing works absolutely amazing. Shout out to my buddy Kelly from work. He's the one that told me about this. It's not expensive. It hardly uses any propane. And it is extremely effective. We're using it today to do the turkey, but we've done ribs, chickens, and a pork butt. Well, we've done like 20, 30 chickens with it. It just works really awesome. Y'all could click on the description to get the whole technical lowdown on this thing, but they call it an infrared cooker. So you got the cylinder here. It's stainless steel. It's pretty easy to clean. You put that in the main cylinder. You hook up the propane. Like that. Turn it on. Set it to high, and then click the ignition. And this propane's been sitting out for, it's outside 24/7, but I haven't used this in about 2 months. And that was one click, and it already turned on. And that's it. This lid is really optional. It's specifically for, one, if you're in a really cold climate, and so it will literally help retain some of the heat, even though it's corrugated. At the end of your cooking cycle, you can put this on for the last, 5 to 10 minutes, and it'll crisp up the skin or, the barbecue sauce or whatever you're cooking that day. But for the most part, you do not need the lid. It comes with this tray here that you put underneath, and that's going to catch all of the drippings, and that is absolutely phenomenal because it lets you make your own gravies and stuff. Either for sure buy these little replaceable liners, and you can just wash these out with soapy water. So this is still the very first one that we've had, and I think I've used this like 50 times. if yours runs out, you can just line it with foil. It's no big deal. And that just slides up in here. And if my wife can look in here a little bit, I don't know if she's going to be able to catch inside that hole, but that's how you know that it is in fact on. Is you'll see the flame in there. And then the only other like little hack or whatever that I have about it is to put some foil on the bottom. I kind of messed mine up a little bit, but at the end of the day, it just helps make cleanup a little bit easier. And that's it for that. And so now you can take your whole bird. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. You just take the whole bird. The manufacturer says this can do up to a 16-pound turkey. This is just under 13. You're gonna put it in there. And that's literally it. The manufacturer says 10 minutes per pound a bird. So this should take right about 2 hours. But you always have to verify by temperature, not by time. If you smoke barbecue, even in a conventional oven, you know this. So you can just come out and poke it with a normal thermometer. This product here that I really, really enjoy is just a wireless temperature probe, basically. It comes with 3 of these probes, and then a transmitter that you'll have on the inside, or wherever you want to be, not here watching it, and then the one that you actually stick the meat probes into. So if I can untangle this mess here, for this I'm going to go and stick 2 in there, just kind of because 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And also different parts of the bird are going to cook at different temperatures. So just a little bit of added insurance there. Turn that guy on. Turn that guy on. I'm going to stick 1 of these as deep as I can in this breast here. And I'll stick another one, honestly, just kind of off to the side. Actually, the breast is the deepest part, so I'm not even going to bother with it on this one. All right, so we're in Celsius. This is America. All right, so now we're back to freedom units. You can see right now the turkey, in fact, was fully thawed. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I don't want to change it too much, but your bird needs to be fully thawed. These things come like liquid nitrogen, crazy frozen. I mean, it's like a brick. If you follow the instructions on the bag, how many foods do you know that they tell you how to thaw it out? Not that many. Turkeys specifically have the instructions on the bag because you can mess it up. If you just leave it on the counter or in a sink full of water, the outside of the bird will thaw much, much quicker than the center of this large piece of meat. And so the outside of the meat can actually spoil before the inside's even thawed out. So I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it. They tell you how to do it on the bag, but generally it's like 3 or 4 days in the refrigerator to let it slowly thaw out. That being said, the inside of that bird is 61 degrees right now. And we can see that America. Let me get the freedom units here real quick. All right. We're back to Fahrenheit, so you can see this here. And I don't know how far this thing can actually technically reach, but I know, 50 feet away through a couple walls, I can sit on the couch and watch this. And that is literally all y'all have to do. You're going to let it get to temperature. And I'm not going to lie. I think that's going to be like chicken where it's 165. But I'll go double check on the internet what the FDA says. But I'm pretty sure it's 165 degrees Fahrenheit. But you don't have to baste it. You don't have to flip it. You don't have to rotate it. You let it sit here. And that's it. And like I said earlier, do not put the lid on or you will have a very crispy top of the bird. The way this thing works is it's distributing the heat around it very evenly. And you end up with basically a fried product. And if you've ever fried a turkey in oil, it's very expensive. If you don't know what you're doing, it's very dangerous. And then you're cooking your meat in oil. This is literally just using thermodynamics, and that's it. So you get basically the same effect without all the oil. And when you have 5 gallons of peanut oil left over, good luck trying to figure out what to do with it. So anyways, we'll let this sit here, and I'll show you how it looks at the end, and we'll carve it up. But I can promise you that this is going to be delicious. We'll see you all here in a couple hours. All right, so the turkey, it's been about like 2 hours and 15 minutes, I believe. And again, this was about a 13-pound turkey. It is at 164. It'll be at that was not scripted. It's at 165, so technically it's done. I'm going to put this lid on for just about 5 minutes. Oh yeah, I'll give you all a peek real quick. It smells awesome. So I'll put this lid on, and I'll set a timer for just 5 minutes. And that's just to help, fully crisp the skin. And then I'll come back and we'll take it out, put it on the counter, and chop it up. All right. So it has been literally 5 minutes. And that's why I told you about this lid. And literally 5 minutes, it went from 165 to 170. So I'm going to take this lid off, set it to the side. I'll give you all a little peek before I take it out. That looks awesome. All right, so I'll take the temperature probe out. The Big Easy comes with this hook. Works pretty well for the excuse me, for the actual basket itself. We'll grab that basket. And I'll take it directly to a pan. All right, I'll go turn this off. And then not only do you get a delicious cooked bird, but you get a nice tray of drippings that we're going to take inside and make gravy with. So I'll meet y'all inside, and we'll get this thing sliced up. Alrighty, we got the bird back inside. I've got a foil-lined cookie sheet. Here, I'm going to actually put the bird on, and then I've just got a spare little cookie sheet so I don't get drippings all over the counter. And we will carefully pull this bad boy out. Alright, you see there, that is one juicy looking bird. Let me wash my hands and grab a knife, and we'll slice the breast, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, let's slice into this bird. You can hear it. The skin is nice and crispy. Woo. Let's pull a piece of that out. See what she looks like. Oh yeah, that's not tender. This is just from my wife and I, so I can use my hands. But that is one yummy, yummy looking bird. See all that juice on there? You got big, nice, juicy pieces of breast. Very tender. And not dry at all. So, if you're nervous about making a turkey, I know it's a really big thing, especially when you have your guests and family over. I promise you, if you use the Big Easy and anything even close to what I just showed you, recipe-wise, it's not hard. Your guests will be happy. Your family will be happy. And we used 2 pans, and that's basically it. So it doesn't need to be a big ordeal to get a really yummy bird done. This was Zach Murray with the Murray Homestead. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share it, hit that stupid bell. If you have any comments or questions, absolutely please put them down below. But if not, I hope y'all enjoyed. Hopefully y'all learned something, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you. That's yummy.